Hello viewers, today we are going to talk about another important skill in driving. It's also a part of assessment of your skills by the testing officer, both in the practical restricted driving test as well as the practical full driving test. In signaling, there are only two things that the testing officer can mark for you or score for you. Either it's a yes for your signaling or it's a no for your signaling. I think signaling is the most important communication with other road users that you can do while driving. Now let us talk stage by stage. In what different situations that you may need to signal and what signals the testing officer is looking for in various situations, or what they call maneuvers. Signaling should be at least 3 seconds before you decide for anything. So if you give a 3 seconds signaling before you start your maneuver, like a left turn or a right turn or different things we are going to discuss, you will get a yes. But if your signaling is less than 3 seconds, like 2 seconds or 1 second, then you will be scored a simple no for your signaling. And in case you forget to signal at all, then it will be a critical error under the heading no signal. Now let us go topic by topic to discuss where all you are supposed to signal and take it up from there. Number one, when you are parked near the curb and you are entering onto the traffic flow, that is to the middle of the road in your lane to proceed further, you have to signal 3 seconds before you move into the traffic flow. I would suggest that you signal first and then start looking at the mirrors, checking mirrors, so that way you take care of your 3 second requirement. I've seen a lot of people, they do the mirror checks, they do the side mirror checks, they do the head checks, and then they suddenly apply the signal and then they try to move out. So instead of that, reverse the order. First signal, and then start looking at the mirrors, making sure everything is okay. So that way it may take the 3 seconds for you to check everything. So that way you are within your limits of 3 seconds signaling. So the first signaling I would say is when you leave the curb and get into the traffic flow. And the second signaling is whenever you are in the traffic flow and the testing officer says, okay, move over to the curb and park. So there also you are supposed to give a 3 second signal before, then check the relevant mirrors, the left side, and then park near the curb. And the other important things that when you signal is lane changes. So if you are making a lane change towards the right, your right signal should be on for 3 seconds even before you move into the right lane. If you are doing a lane change for the left side, your left signal should be given for at least 3 seconds before you do your head checks on the relevant mirrors, and then you move into the left lane. Then the important times when you signal that will be noted will be the left turns and the right turns. So before making that left turn, you have to signal 3 seconds before as you approach the intersection, and then make your turn after looking at the relevant mirror. Same thing applies to the right turn. So before you reach the intersection, you have to start signaling 3 seconds before and then do the turn. And the next important place where a signaling comes into play is roundabouts. So roundabouts, you have to be thorough how you signal. For a left turn at the roundabout, you signal left 3 seconds before, and when clear, after checking all the mirrors, all the sides, you enter the roundabout, and that same signal becomes what I call personally an exit signal. If you have to go straight at a roundabout, you do not need to signal anything. You just enter the roundabout when it's safe. But when you are exiting straight, which is basically a second exit, you will be signaling left. That will become your exit indicator. When you are going right at a roundabout, you signal right. And when you are near the second exit, you are crossing the second exit towards the third exit, you signal left, which will become your exit signal or indicator. If you are making a U-turn, then you keep signaling right till you reach the third exit. Around third exit, you start giving your exit indicator, which will become the left signal for making a U-turn. So basically in roundabouts, I find a lot of people sometimes they are juggling between the entry indicators and the exit indicators. So make sure what indicators are to be given. Read your road code thoroughly before you go to a test. So basically, if you are not giving any signal while entering or not giving the proper signal while you are entering or exiting, then your signaling could be marked no. Or if you altogether forget to give any signals, then it will be a critical error, no signal. And the last need of signaling comes when you are doing a slow maneuver movement with your car, like a parallel parking and 3-point turn. So first let us discuss the parallel parking. So when you are told to approach and park parallel to another car in preparation for performing a reverse parallel park, the first thing is you have to give the left indicator and park parallel to the other car your testing officer is pointing out. Then again, when he says perform the parallel park, you should again check your mirrors, relevant mirrors, and then put the left indicator again. If it is off or something, you activate it and then slowly move back into your parallel park position behind the car that you are standing along with. Then once you are parked at the curb, the testing officer is going to tell, okay, now leave the parking space and move ahead or move off. Then you have to again give the right indicator for 3 seconds, check the relevant mirrors, and then you have to get out of that spot. So these are the signals that they are looking for when you are doing a parallel park. Now coming to the 3-point turn, the signals that they are looking is when they say, okay, move over to the curb, position yourself for performing a 3-point turn. You have to give the left indicator when you are approaching the curb from the main street towards the curb, and then position yourself. And then you also have to give when they say, okay, now please perform a 3-point turn. Then you put the right indicator, go towards the other curb, and then perform that 3-point turn. So the signal while approaching the curb for positioning yourself, and the right signal while you are turning towards the other curb to make that K-turn or 3-point turn as it is called, is what they are looking at. Friends, I think signaling is very important communication with other road users. I have read a lot of news and heard a lot of news where due to wrong signaling by people and who are not giving enough time for signaling, there have been instances of road rage that happens. People get, pissed off at people who don't know how to signal, or they signal in the last minute before they do any of these changes or any of these maneuvers. So please update yourself from the road code. Practice the correct way of signaling 3 seconds before. So the result is 3 seconds before you get a yes. Less than 3 seconds you get a no. If you forget to signal, then you get critical error for no signal. So I hope this video helps you with your signaling. And try to practice these things and you should be okay with your practical test. Thank you. Please give any comments or any questions if you have, and I will try to clarify them to the best of my knowledge.